Welcome to Great Talk and Entertainment. I'm your host, KJ, and this is the podcast where we review movies and TV shows from all your favorite superheroes, including Marvel Comics, DC Comics, and much more. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talk and Entertainment official channel. Now, let's go, baby. Welcome back as we continue on for episode 3 for the new Disney Plus series, season 3 of The Mandalorian. Now, this is a spoiler review. If you have not seen this show yet, please pause this. But before you go, hit the thumbs up button to help my channel grow. Go watch all episodes 1, 2 through 3. Come back, check out my spoiler review. And then I would love to hear your guys' opinion in the comment section, how you feel about The Mandalorian Season 3 so far. So, again, it is a spoiler review. So, you've been warned. Let's get into it. Episode 3 takes us on a bizarre story about the new Republican. And it starts off continuing with the Mando, Grogu, and Bo-Katan, as she asks him if he remembers anything when he fell through, but obviously he does not remember because he was knocked out because of the pressure in the water. So he has not seen the Mythosaurus, and so this could potentially have Bo-Katan start plotting a plan, whether it's on him, the Mandalorian, whoever. But this gives her an upper advantage or leverage, and we don't know where she's going to go with this. So, here we go. So, and then as we see in this episode, Bo-Katan and Din Djarin, who is the Mandalorian, are both redeemed. And which is very interesting because she didn't want to, and she wasn't trying to. But obviously, even the Mandalorian, and here's the thing I want to bring up too. I was wondering if the Mandalorian, if he knew that since she went in the water to save him and she was the witness, and he told her, hey, just keep your helmet on, that he, in his heart, maybe she would be redeemed and this would change her ways to follow the way. And so, I don't know. I just felt like maybe in his heart he had a feeling that she would redeem herself. And who knew it was going to be at the same time. Obviously, I forgot the guy's name in he's the bigger, bulkier guy in the Mandalorian series, who's part of the group. He seems pretty jealous, and obviously you can't see their face, so I'm pretty sure he was pissed off about it. But because he didn't want both of them, he was like, "Yeah, what are you guys doing here? You guys should just leave. You're not welcome here." But obviously, he had the proof, he had a witness, and everybody's back in the Mandalorian team, right? So, but there's going to be some jealousy, I see, maybe in episode 4. So, but then it takes us back a little bit to Dr. Piercing and Elia Kang. And obviously, Dr. Piercing, he was giving like a TED Talk speech trying to justify that it was wrong of him to do the Clone Wars experience, and it was wrong of him to take, DNA genetics and clone people. But he used a sad story about his mom needing an organ to be replaced, and he had the technology to do it. And what I say is weird is because Elia Kane and Dr. Pressing, they are true believers and followers of the old Republican. So it's very not like it's disturbing, bizarre, because why would you give these two characters a second chance? But we'll get into that topic later. Again, he was also set up this whole time by Elia Kane because I think it had to do with who her former boss was. So and they both work for him, which is Moff Gideon. And so the setup to him was a bit strange, but you see that they erased his whole mind. And as you see at the end, you know, Elia Kane has earned some trust, and the guy just left her in a room knowing that she cranked it up, the volume of mind erasing to about 11 or more. And now his brain's probably scrambled, like scrambled eggs, his brain is pretty much. And why is the question, but this was a very, 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 very strange story, but it looks like that the director of The Mandalorian, I think he's trying to justify the prequels and the sequels to the prequels and all that. And there's a lot of, I mean, if you Star Wars fans know this about the prequel and the sequels to the prequels, uh, this is very connecting to them, and this is such an odd story to try to bring back. And I had a feeling this was going to, but this is going to be a challenge to uh, bring up this story about the new Republican and where this is going. And this obviously took a side. This episode to me, it was like, yeah, they focused on the main story, but then they stopped and did a whole like imagine doing a whole side quest on a video game, like not the whole video game, but you have to do your side quest to get better things in a video game, right? And this was kind of like one of those things, like, but this side quest in Star Wars term and TV wise, this is going to be a challenging story, and obviously this story is not going to be fully told in season 3 as much as I think it is. I think they're going to pass this story on to other Star Wars series, and this has a lot of connections to the Andor and others. So it's a very tricky story again, and I know I keep blabbing on about I just want to make it clear this is a big challenging story that back in the days this had a lot of negative criticized, a lot of negative reviews. So but now if you I rewatched them all, like in life when Disney Plus came out, and I do appreciate the Star Wars sequels and prequels and all that. Like it helps me appreciate the good things that came out of those. And obviously it's not just Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, Han Solo. This is a massive universe that just hasn't scratched the surface yet, and they're building the Star Wars franchise in a good way. So I'm not gonna diss this episode. I'm not gonna bash it, but I think it's very like risky. Very. I mean, this is a challenge. This is gonna be an interesting way, but I have it. Season 1, season 2 were so good. I just trust that they know what they're doing, obviously, and I think whatever the answer may be, whether they answer it on this season or in another Star Wars series, I think it'll be answered, and I think it'll be a satisfying answer to Star Wars fans, and really helps build that bridge of connecting each show and movie together. So I trust it. So I'm not too worried about it, but like I said, it was bizarre, but it was a good episode, and I think again the cast, the actors and actress, they did an amazing job, and it kept me on the edge of the seat. Like I wanted to see more. I really enjoyed like the train, the subway train, or just the train scene. That was really cool. Like just trying to hide and jump off, but wow, it took a lot. So A great episode, honestly. It was good. It was good. Like it was a great show. So I really like it. So let's get in some of the top. Elia Kane and Dr. Person. It was an odd duo, but boy, she tricked him so bad, and it was so bizarre. Like, why did she do all that? It was like she the one person that showed her any kind of kindness, she turned on and set him up, got his brain erased, and like it opens it up like two important questions, and we'll get into those later. But what I think about this is it was an odd way to portray this character, but I also understand that the new Republican is shady. It's not perfect, and it's teasing the way. It's gonna go back to their old ways, their old doings, and you know, Grogu is still a target. The Jedi's are still a target, and you know, it all leads up to that, and it's gonna be crazy. I know it, but it's such an odd way to do it. But boy, it was a trap. I didn't see it coming, but I was just shocked. I thought, okay, maybe they can change, but they can't. But why did she do that? So the only way I can think of is Moff Gideon. Like, she's so loyal to Moff Gideon. It's not crazy. It is crazy, but it's not because you know, is he coming back? Is the question. So is Moff Gideon alive? I would say no. I will not know, but I would say yes. Actually, yes. I think he's alive. I think he escaped. I think he's out there and he's plotting it, and she's gonna Kane. She's gonna be a double spy. Like she's gaining trust. She's doing stuff, and she's working the system basically. And what a strange way to have this doctor go through all this and just erase his mind. Like his brains are probably like scrambled eggs. Like I said earlier, like it's crazy. Like what are they gonna do with him? Like he's the one guy. Like and it kind of doesn't make sense, but I'm gonna let it go because it's like, well, it's too late. Here's the story. This guy wait till episode 4, right? But he's the guy that knows how to do the cloning. So why would you want to get rid of him? That's the question. But maybe Moff Gideon has a better vision or he has a bigger plan of plotting. So uh, let's talk about the Amsterian program slash housing slash rehabilitating. Honestly, I think this is just the idea of bringing back Sheev Palpatine. I think Palpatine is back. I think he's behind all of this. New Republican. I think he wants to start brainwashing people to control people. I think he learned from the Dark Vader. I think he understands that he has to find a better technique to convince people to come to the dark side, basically. And so I think he's gonna be making an appearance in this season of The Mandalorian, or even just mentioned. I think he's the guy. I think he's gonna be. I think Moff Gideon is gonna be the big bad villain of the whole Mandalorian. But I think Palpatine is the main guy that they don't realize that, okay, he's the one we should be stopping, and they don't realize it yet. The Mandos and all them. So it's gonna be one of those. Like I think Palpatine wants Grogu, like himself. I think if you can turn him to the dark side, like think about it, like you had Jedi Master Yoda. Now imagine you have Dark Sith Master Grogu. Like it's part. I think that's what's gonna come down to making Grogu go to the dark side. that's just what I think that was gonna go. I think this is why they put this story in the Mandalorian season about the new Republican. Like, I think, and this is a lot. I think this is a lot, but and I know, and here's why it's such a bizarre story to start it off like that, because it doesn't really show any heavy, like, clear connections of how this story is going to connect to the story that's been told with the Mandalorian and Grogu, right? But it's all gonna connect at some point, but it's just very unclear with this story. But again, this is I feel like it's gonna be answered, and I think it's gonna be an acceptable answer of this story where I think people will enjoy and be satisfied with, even for me, honestly. Uh, let's talk about who attacked Bo-Katan. So, as the Mandalorian and Bo-Katan were heading out, you see these Imperial warlords come attacking and blew up her home, like that the Mandalorian castle. And she said, "Yeah, I rubbed, I pissed off a couple people, Imperial people, and the only person right now in this Star Wars universe that has that much Imperial army is Thrawn." And again, they kind of teased them with the whales in episode 2. So uh this is a big step. This is a very interesting thing, but I think we're gonna see him. I honestly, I think Moff Gideon, I think Palpatine, I think Thrawn are gonna be showing up in live action form, like. And I think these are these are three big bad villains to me in my mind, but it, it's it's leading up to a bigger, because I know people are like, well, this episode is still so slow, it's still moving slow. Well, hold on, like, they're building it up, because if you're gonna have this many appearance, like, you gotta have a lot. I think the next few episodes would be action packed, like straight up action packed, like not enough dialogue, small dialogue, and a lot of shoot, shoot, fly, fly, lightsaber, Because you gotta understand, like, why did she do that? Like, why? But why did she do that? What was she doing? Like, Bo-Katan is up to something, and now that she sees that the Mandalorian just welcomed the armor, she just welcomed her back in. Now, here's what I think. I think the armor. I think she welcomed her back in on purpose. I think she's up to something, but I also see Bo-Katan is up to something now, and one of these two are gonna. These two are gonna turn on each other, but who's gonna do it first is the real question. The armor or Bo-Katan? Like, that's the question. Like, again, Mandalorian. He Dinjan. He's just he's still conflicted. You know, he's still conflicted with this. Is he's obviously happy that he got accepted back in, but he's still very protective for Grogu. And he, right now in his mind, he thinks he can. I think now that he's got it, I think now he's gonna try to convince everybody that we're gonna make Grogu a Mandalorian, and, like, this is the way, right? He's trying to, but he doesn't realize that it might not be that. I think, again, Grogu is his origin story is a bigger story beyond the Mandalorian, and honestly, I just don't see them wanting to put on a Mandalorian helmet to the Star Wars character that's making a ton of money in toys, Funko Pops, T-shirts, mugs, you name it. You put that little boy's face on there, people are buying it. They just think he's cute, like baby Grogu. Like it. I just That's what I see. I'm sorry, I know, but I just think that. So it that's why they're doing this story about the season's about redemption and becoming a new person. Like this is a setup. Like it's crazy, but and to be honest, I'm enjoying it. I can't wait to see it. But is there a part of me that would love to see Grogu become a Mandalorian? Yes, because it's different. It would be something that just hasn't been seen. Like, I mean, Grogu and Yoda, and there's a couple others that are the same species. There's still you can go either way with this, and I'm really curious which way they're gonna go with it, and I'm really excited to watch the show for that reason. So I'm really honestly I'm okay whatever they go with this story with Grogu. I'm pretty sure I'll be 100% satisfied, and I'll be okay with it because I just like that character in general. So again, this episode was really good. I think it was a great story, a side story that it was really great to watch. It's very interesting where everybody's alliance is truly at, and everybody. I think there's an internal war happening, and nobody sees it coming. That's what's really cool about this. Like, there's a big war going on, and to see this all come through is really amazing. So I'm okay with this. So again, this episode was really great. I loved it. I think I like the slow pace. Like, I think they're doing the slow pace thing really correct to me. I really think they're doing a great job with it because it does make sense and it executes a lot of questions that need to be answered, but it's also building up to something even cooler or more amazing in the next episodes continuing on. So I'm definitely supporting the slow pace thing with it. So that's just me. So if I had to give this episode 1 out of 10, I'm definitely giving it an 8. It's a great thing. A lot of plot holes, but again, they're probably going to be answered. So I'm okay with it. But I like this because it's teasing a lot of major Star Wars characters. And even the little robot taxi driver was talking about legendary Star Wars. Even Doctor's Pierce is like little TED Talk thing he was doing. Like, he was talking about the Purge. You know, there's a lot going on. Like, these are important, big Star Wars events. Like, these just exist. They still happen. Like, it's crazy. So I'm enjoying this. And what I think is gonna happen is, uh, I think the Mandalorian. I think he'd be the one to. I think he's gonna put him down. I think he's gonna be the one that's gonna stop Moff Gideon. Obviously, I think he might not have got Palpatine, but he might get Thrawn too. Like, that's a possibility, but it's gonna be interesting, and I think the Mandalorians are going to stop the New Republicans in my mind, but who knows, right? So that's my review. Thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talking Entertainment Official Channel. Please subscribe, hit that notification button so you can always be updated with all my latest content. Thank you and peace.